I give you the number 1 overall rookie in 2023. He's the number 1 RB. He's the number 1 rookie. And prepare yourself. Brace yourself. He is the number 1 overall Dynasty player. Period. You heard me right. Number 1. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now, pal.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.
I'm going to go through every single rookie running back and do a video. Who's my number 1 rookie running back? Who's my number 2 rookie running back? Who's my number 3? Number 1's Bijan Robinson, but it's important to emphasize he's not only the number 1 rookie running back, he's the number 1 rookie, and he's the number 1 overall dynasty player out of all fantasy football 2023 beyond.
You're being glib.
That's right. If I'm drafting in a startup draft right now, I take Bijan number 1 overall. You might find that bold. You might say to yourself, but Smitty, you don't even know where he's going to land, Smitty. Or, he's never taken an NFL snap, Smitty. These are all things I know. I have a YouTube channel. I do talk about fantasy football and NFL related news all day long. I'm not a moron. And I know what my eyes are telling me to be true. Bijan Robinson special. He's LaDainian Tomlinson meets Kenneth Walker meets something else fluid. Le'Veon Bell in his prime. Patient runner. He's a smooth operator.
The Moon Men, dropping loads and out.
Think what you want about Bijan. Think what you want about this careful Caleb or petrified Peter type of reaction where it's like,
Till I know what
team he's on,
I don't have the cojones,
Smitty, to make this kind of decision. I'm gonna agree with you if he lands with a good team. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. I've
got no balls.
And I'm going to say, can I circle back? If he lands with a good team, I'm going to go ahead and concur. I'll be back to say that I was right. This is a game of prediction that we play, fantasy football. A game of prediction. We have to predict what's going to happen next. We got to predict who's going to get hurt. We got to predict all kinds of things. And looking at the NFL draft order, think about it logically. The Chicago Bears probably won't take an RB. However, if they did, it wouldn't be the worst landing spot in the world, but they're pretty much out. The Texans could potentially draft Bijan Robinson, but I don't think they do it at 2. And for the negative Nancy out there that's saying, Smitty, no one takes an RB in the top 10 anymore. You haven't been paying attention. Read the room, Bob. Bijan Robinson is not your grandma's running back. This is not like the previous years where RBs barely go in round 1 now. Maybe 1 RB goes at the tail end of round 1. This guy's special, and everybody knows what time it is. He's going in the top 3 to 10 overall. The Eagles will be lucky if he falls to 10, and they would take him. So working our way up, Panthers would take him in a heartbeat. Falcons would probably take him. The Raiders don't have Josh Jacobs right now. Who knows what happens there, but they will be looking for an RB. The Lions probably won't take him. The Seahawks won't take him. The Colts won't take him. The Cardinals could draft him. In fact, that could be the best location for Bijan Robinson because James Conner's been at the big boy table for rushing touchdowns for the last 2 years, and there's a lot of touchdowns to be had. Bijan could lead the league in rushing touchdowns as a rookie in Arizona. And a new regime's coming in. They probably want to ground and pound and get Kyler out of this air raid attack. He's such an Arsenal type of quarterback, isn't he? No. He's more like Justin Fields. You need to have support around him and let him do things with his legs, throw when he can, but get somebody on the ground that's competent like Bijan, and the Cardinals might. I love the landing spot for the Cardinals. And I'm in Arizona, so this would be a match made in heaven. So Cardinals 1, Raiders 2, Falcons 3, Panthers 4, Eagles 5. 5 teams easily in the Bijan Robinson game inside the top 10. And again, the Eagles would not even dare to let him slip past them at number 10. Meaning that petrified Peter out there. But Smitty, what if he lands in a bad spot? Well, given that I've already told you that he's probably going in the top 10, given the teams that don't need him won't be drafting him, given every single team that could draft him would be a great landing spot, I think it's pretty safe to say We did our homework, Bobby. So landing spot's not a concern. In today's running back climate in the NFL draft, teams wait so long to draft a running back, you are at risk of a team that doesn't really need a running back that might take a running back in round 2. Hey, it's a good deal. In the top 10, no one's playing the
maybe we need a running back, maybe we don't game.
You either need them or you don't. And every one of these locations would be fire. As for skill set, the dude's got the power. The dude has the vision. The dude has the hands. The only thing he kind of lacks would be the top end speed, but who cares? It's an overrated category anyway, but there is a chance his 40 time lowers his value in some eyes of the NFL. But very intelligent organizations and scouts and GMs won't let his 40 time, if it even is bad, he could come out and surpass all expectations, but if his 40 time is bad, it might hamper some people's viewpoint, but not people that know what time it is. Okay, so you know how I feel about him long-term. I'll do a more long-term Dynasty take on the Dynasty channel. Okay, just know that we'll cover Dynasty on this main channel. We'll always cover Dynasty on the main channel. Dynasty and Redraft, Redraft and Dynasty.
Dynasty mode activated.
We'll always jump back and forth between Dynasty and Redraft mode here on the channel. But from a Redraft perspective, Bijan Robinson is going to be in my top 5 running backs for 2023. Now, I'm going to do my very best not to overdraft him. And I'm going to also do my very best to promote that you all don't overdraft him, because as we hype a player on the channel, like this right here.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Redraft mode activated.
We tend to vault their value up and pump their value up. So I'm going to do my very best to be like, guys, we have to stay outside the top 6 overall in redraft when we talk about Bijan Robinson redraft drafting. But I don't think there's anything wrong with taking him in the first round in a redraft fantasy football league. And I'll very much be promoting him around 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we're going to, again, try and pump the brakes to make sure we don't ruin his ADP. But if you think I won't make Bijan my first drafted player at the end of round 1, you're out of your mind. It's all about value, and we need to keep the value hanging around for a little while. This is it. This is the guy, the generational talent. You've heard it before already, but it's all true. And if you don't believe me, watch 5 minutes of YouTube footage and you will be like, Smitty, you're right. Smitty, this is Petrified Peter. I watched some footage and I concur. I'm on board. Give it just 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 2.5 minutes of watching Bijan footage and you will be on board. Smooth operator, next LT, amazing vision, tremendous power, ability to hit the hole, but also bounce to the outside, navigate left and right behind the line of scrimmage to find the open space. He's not some one cut and go player, but he can also be a one cut and go player. And as I mentioned, all of these landing spots are phenomenal. There's not a landing spot inside the top 10 that's likely to take Bijan that I don't really like. Gibbs is a good running back. We'll talk about Gibbs in the next video. He's the number 2 RB. He is the number 2 RB. I like Gibbs a lot. I'm not saying Gibbs can't be Alvin Kamara 2.0. I'm not saying Gibbs can't rival Bijan if his landing spot's a little bit better, but he's got the risk of having a more confusing and cloudy landing spot, whereas Bijan's is pretty mapped out. But we'll talk about Gibbs in the next video. He is running back 2. I'll see you all on the next one. Appreciate you. And don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Get your bold predictions, your rankings, your trade calculator, your one-on-one text advice. Don't forget to get on over to Underdog Fantasy. Bonus match of up to $100 on your first deposit. Dollar for dollar match. You drop 100, they give you 100. You drop 50, they give you 50. Get on over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, and start playing all of this DFS action, baby. And drop a prop, okay? Go do one of these 5 prop pick'ems where you can put them all on one ticket and you're basically 20 timesing your value if you land it. Go play Underdog Fantasy. I will see you on the next video. Gibbs is next. Would Jahmyr Gibbs please report to the front stage? Jahmyr Gibbs, please report to the front stage, young man.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.